What's up, guys? My name is Tim Roswick, and today I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about uh, what risks are in game development, how to reduce them, and kind of how to build a game maybe with not so much at stake. Maybe not, the world's not going to end if the game doesn't do well. So this video was inspired by a talk by Adam Saltzman, who's the creator of Cannabolt. This was a talk yesterday in Pro Indie Dev, which, by the way, Adam's talking again today on Pro Indie Dev, so make sure you go to proindiedev.com, register, and it plays live twice today. So check that out. But Adam was basically talking about hedging your bets, and the whole talk was basically essentially about how games are inherently risky. They're riskier than anything out there. They're more riskier than software. They're more riskier than property or anything like that. Because games are just, they're experiences. There's not an inherent need for them, right? Like, they're not Microsoft Word where, like, if you got to type something, you got to use that, or Google Docs, right? Like, it's not something that you generally need. It's kind of a luxury. It's entertainment. Any kind of entertainment is significantly more risky than its counterpart. Like, video courses are safer than movies, just like software is safer than games, because you can prove demand for software. You can very visually see, okay, this is needed. You go into any workplace, any job, anywhere, there's an opportunity there because people do things a certain way. And if you can shave time off of the way they do things, you can get your software or your invention or whatever used in that place because it saves time, and that saves money. Games are experiences, so inherently they're more risky. And basically, this is something I've preached in many different ways on the channel, but his talk kind of brought it to light that you should reduce your risks. And anybody that says like games aren't risky or make a good game or anything like that, if you just make comments like that, you I think are not seeing the point. There are a lot of people that jump into this and just take on all the risk. I personally know people that have spent their life savings developing a game, and then the game flopped. I know people that have remortgaged their home because of something like this they believe in. And while it's make for a great story, right? Like if you watch a movie about that, oh, he did that and then he was successful and everybody lived happily ever after. That's a cool story to hear. In real life, doing things like that are kind of stupid, especially if you can have the same chances of success without taking the risks. And there are a couple different ways to do that. First of all, you got to build the basic prototype. You got to build a vertical slice. You got to build that piece that people can play. Generally, what I would always do is I was always build a basic prototype of the mechanic and have people play it with like squares and circles and cubes. Adam recommended something that I thought was actually brilliant because, he's in a higher tier of game development than I am. He goes to all the different conferences. He shows off games there. And I get, like, obviously you've got to have a higher quality product. Can't have people on a show floor of PAX playing squares and circles. He recommends a vertical slice that's 30 to 40 minutes. And basically what he said was, if people can play through that experience and they don't want to give you the controller back, then you've got something there. Like if they just say, it's good, and they hand you the controller back, it's not so much of a good thing. And I thought that was brilliant because, like, an average maybe single player campaign or something is maybe 4 to 8 hours, right? So a vertical slice, and for those of you who don't know what a vertical slice is, it's basically like a chunk of the game that looks and feels complete. So a lot of us may plan 100 levels or 1,000 items or whatever, and we just keep working on all that stuff. What he's saying is basically you just build this little piece of it. You build like 10 levels, 10 items, or whatever, but make it super polished. Like really work on the polish, the art, the sound. Make sure it feels like a solid game. and then you can show that off professionally, right? So I would definitely still start with the prototype. Like, you need to make sure that the mechanics work, and you might try 10 different prototypes to figure out the right mechanic. But then once you go beyond that, then you want to build a vertical slice, and that you can take to PAX, you can take to these different conventions, you can show people from the press, right? It might be good for a Kickstarter or something like that, because it's this part of the game that looks almost complete. It feels complete. It, as far as anybody can tell, it's a complete game, just not all the content's there. And I think that is a really good way to go. And he runs a publishing company now, Adam does. He did Cannonball, that was a runaway success, but they also helped publish with some of the money they earned from those initial games. And that is their strategy. That's what they do. And I thought that was really interesting. That was the main thing that I took away from the talk. And it's something that I'm probably going to apply moving forward in my stuff. Right now, I'm refactoring kind of a piece of Philophobia that I think could be a more entertaining and more a better experience gameplay wise. But, you know, my game is broken down into 5 different sections. You've got all the different stages of grief. So for me, a vertical slice would boil down to, okay, well, what if I just get one section done? What if I just get the first stage completely done, right? And I build that out, and I add everything that needs to be done to it, and I just really polish that, really focus on it, really work on the boss battle, all that stuff. Really focus on that and build that and show that to people, and then see what they think. And go from there. And if it works, build the rest of the content. If it doesn't, you know, figure out why and fix whatever issues there are. So that's the direction I'm heading, and that's what I took away from Pro Indie Dev Conference. If you're not a part of the conference, man, why? It's 100% free, and there are going to be talks for the next couple days. So go to proindiedev.com and sign up, or go to Starlight Skies on Twitch. All the talks are airing twice a day, and I recommend you do that because I've learned a ton. And I'm going to be hanging out in the chat too, so you can come hang out with me. I'll probably be hosting the conference on Twitch as well, so you can go to my channel and check it out. But I appreciate you guys watching, and it's been a fun week so far. Learned a lot of stuff, working on a lot of stuff, got a lot of stuff going. So I appreciate you guys watching, and my name is Tim Roswick. I'll see you again tomorrow.